Hiroo Onoda was born on March 19, 1922, in the village of Kamikawa, Wakayama Prefecture, Japan. In 1940, when he was just 18 years old, his parents enrolled him in the Imperial Japanese Army. By 1942, he was sent to the Futamata branch of the Nakano Military School, where he was trained in guerrilla warfare, intelligence gathering, martial arts, and ideological indoctrination. This training wasn't just about winning battles, it was about survival and about never ever surrendering. It was designed to forge a mindset of extreme loyalty and unshakable perseverance. In December 1944, 23-year-old Lieutenant Hiroo Onoda was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines for a highly classified mission. His orders: sabotage the island's airfield and destroy the harbor pier. If enemy warplanes or their crews appeared, eliminate them. The goal was to disrupt any Allied invasion at all costs. But his most critical orders were these: never surrender, never take your own life. And his commander had told him, it may take 3 years, it may take 5, but whatever happens, we'll come back for you. Onoda took those words literally. So literally that he would live in the jungle for nearly 30 years. February 1945, Allied forces attacked Lubang Island and captured it completely within days. Of the 150 men in the Japanese garrison, most were killed, captured, or fled. Only 4 survived without surrendering: Lieutenant Onoda, Private Yuichi Akatsu, Corporal Shoichi Shimada, and Private First Class Kinshichi Kozuka. They decided to vanish into the jungle and wage guerrilla warfare, to keep fear alive among the enemy, and to make it as hard as possible for them to hold the island. They lived off bananas, coconuts, and rice or meat stolen from local farmers. Occasional raids, hunting trips, ambushes, they became the unseen, persistent threat lurking in the shadows. The unbreakable conviction of never surrender kept them ready and alert year after year. In August 1945, Japan surrendered in World War II. Emperor Hirohito's announcement was broadcast on August 15th, and the formal surrender was signed on September 2nd. But deep in the jungle, Onoda and his men had no idea. To them, the war could not possibly be over. They saw airdropped leaflets announcing Japan's surrender, but Onoda examined them closely and spotted what he believed were mistakes. To him, it was clear. This was enemy propaganda. If the war were truly over, he thought, why were bullets still being fired? And so, they ignored every message. The war, in their minds, was still on. Their lives became a strange, endless cycle of survival. They built secret hideouts. Meals were boiled bananas with skin, sometimes mixed with coconut milk or dried meat, tasting like overcooked sweet potatoes, but it was food. They hunted cows, 3 a year, and dried the meat on tarps. Each cow yielded about 250 pieces of dried beef, rationed to 1 piece per day. But time took its toll. Akatsu surrendered in 1950. Shimada was killed in a shootout with police in 1954. Kozuka was shot and killed in 1972. By then, Onoda was completely alone. The authorities tried everything: more leaflets, loudspeakers, even letters from family. But Onoda dismissed it all as clever enemy tricks. Then, in February 1974, a young Japanese adventurer named Norio Suzuki arrived on Lubang Island. After 4 days of searching through dense jungle, he found Onoda, still wearing his old uniform, still armed, still wary. Suzuki told him that Japan had surrendered and that people back home were worried about him. But Onoda refused to believe. He said he would only surrender if his former commanding officer came to relieve him of his duty. Nothing else would be enough. Suzuki returned to Japan with proof of Onoda's existence. He found Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, Onoda's old commander, and brought him to Lubang Island. On March 9, 1974, Taniguchi personally met Onoda in the jungle and officially relieved him of his mission. The next day, March 10, 1974, Hiroo Onoda surrendered to Philippine forces. Handing over his sword, his Arisaka rifle, 500 rounds of ammunition, and several hand grenades, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos granted him a full pardon. It became a global news sensation. Back in Japan, Onoda was welcomed as a national hero. The government offered him back pay for all the years he had served, but he refused, donating it to the Yasukuni Shrine instead. He published his autobiography, No Surrender, My 30-Year War, which became a bestseller. In 1975, he moved to Brazil, started a cattle ranch, and settled in a Japanese-Brazilian community. He married in 1976. In 1984, he returned to Japan and founded the Onoda Nature School in Fukushima Prefecture, teaching children survival skills and the values of life. He lived to the age of 91, passing away in Tokyo on January 16, 2014. By then, he had spent 10,416 days, nearly 29 and a half years, fighting a war that had long since ended. One decision had kept him alive all those years: never surrender. And his life still stands as a lesson in loyalty, belief, and the extraordinary limits of human commitment.